so don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through.
We have a beer now.
We all appreciate meeting you.
Hegemony.
But
Alright, see you guys later.
thank you.
Hey, do you know her?
No! Are you
Who was that?
Hierarchy.
Y'all, I'm spinning.
Have you guys, none of you see Blade 2, okay? None of you. Like,
Bitches, I'm spinning.
Who was that?
that was a random person.
How the fuck did she get
Guys,
Pecking order.
we Ocean 11 this whole night.
How did she know?
Up here,
Okay, wait, hold up.
Girl comes up like with no premises, like, oh hey guys, you guys having a good time? Oh, Emperor Palpatine
No,
for you. She can't.
Knowing your place or being put in your place. Greetings, YouTube. This is the Garage Autonomist. You're watching a sample grouping of YouTube's right wing. They're trying to chill and bask in their glow after an individual who tried to ingratiate herself with flattery, hero worship, and bringing alleged gifts. This was supposedly a private gathering of YouTubers who all attended a conference called VidCon that most of us working people who might create social media ourselves as a hobby or an art form may have had no fucking clue that it occurred. Well, speaking for myself, they took the alleged gifts, these people, and basically asked her to leave. Her side of the story was that after the door was closed, they laughed. One of the reactionaries, a trans woman YouTuber named Blair White, who I like to call Eva Braun 2.0, called the young woman a gypsy. And as us politically conscious people on the left know our history, calling people gypsies, especially in Europe, was often a derogatory term or a term used to treat someone with suspicion due to their ethnicity or one's non-European appearance. Now, the young woman who was kicked out was, in fact, more than just a fan. She was a YouTube reactionary who created content herself. You know, the kind of person who can afford to be a self-hating woman, anti-left, doesn't read anything, often sides with the ruling class and their use of law enforcement to carry out racial profiling and state-sponsored violence aimed at poor people and their military forces as they carry out operations to maintain the imperialist enterprise across the globe, because she herself was most likely born and raised in the bubble of class privilege. She and the others churn out content that imagines a world that has suddenly become a liberal republic as they perpetually pine for the day when the hegemony will return to being rich, white, and male, as if that never went away. But she was dismissed because she simply was not relevant in these people's eyes. See, the rest of the people in that hotel room have over tens of thousands of subscribers. Videos are averaging 2,000 per views. This means in the culture of YouTube that these reactionary, classist, sexist subhumans that you see in this hotel room are the cream of the crop. We all know by now that to be big YouTubers, it doesn't take that much. The business model is simple. Take daddy's credit card, buy the deluxe subscriber /views/comments package, use those lame thumbnail templates that they all uncreatively utilize, and make content appealing to the alienated protected class. Now, that's the short of it, and that defines the YouTuber. You're not really a thinker, a journalist, an artist. You are entertainment. You are showman. You aspire to be a subspecies that is one step below the reality star. But what of the left? See, I talked about the YouTube careerist on the right, but you know that we have them on the left as well. But I would expect those who are supposedly left, even moderately liberal, would track in like mud on their feet, a sense of community or coalition building into the world of social media, and to be helpful, offer advice, invite lesser knowns to hangouts if you think that they are saying good things or they seem intelligent. If they are young but still on shaky ground politically, you can offer mentorship. A culture like that really may create the true competition needed to combat YouTube's right wing, instead of simply aping YouTube's right wing. When I hear the sheer pomposity of some of these posers pretending to be some kind of a progressive, an alternative to the Hitler Youth of YouTube, say things like, I don't debate or do hangouts with people unless they're as big as I am or bigger, it doesn't make me mad, but I fucking laugh. I mean, seriously, you sound like an asshole. What, are you here to offer an ideological point of view, which is constantly under attack on this platform, by the way, or are you trying to win a golden fucking globe? You know, I think back in my early 20s, and I'd gotten with this small crew of anarchists. We decided to create a zine that did something none of the other anarchist zines at the time were doing, as we saw it anyway. In other words, make articles that was talking about people of color, putting out strong feminist content, and we wanted the zine to reflect the diversity of our collective, which was racially diverse, and gender, and sexual orientation. And this was the early 90s. When we finally got the point of production, one of us decided to ask the printer about glossy color covers, something that we hadn't discussed beforehand. And really, as it turned out, I and a few others in our collective had full-time jobs. So when it came down to it, we could, in fact, afford the covers. But the thing is, no one could foresee if we could afford for the next issue to do it again, especially since we didn't know we were going to get a lot of donations coming back to us. You see, back in those days, kids, there was no Patreon or PayPal for us when you were trying to do alternative press. If you got a review or a listing in Fifth Estate and an alternative press review mag back then, people would reach you a couple of dollars and you would send them copies of your zine. And why did we do all this shit for free anyway? 1, because we wanted to. 2, because you made alternative press, music, films, whatever, because the shit that sells is bullshit and built on lies consumed by customers who were forced to buy it because they didn't know any better. So when a comrade busts out with the idea that we should make glossy covers because Time magazine is glossy and people are attracted to that, the general fucking consensus was, we're not Time magazine and we don't make Time magazine money. And those looking to buy Time magazine would never buy what we are trying to say anyway. It was a big fight at the damn printers. We did go with the heavy stock cover, which we thought looked nice. The glossy dude gave us deuces before we put the next issue out some 2 months later. I looked him up, by the way, a couple of years ago, and damned if he didn't become some piece of shit ad man. Go figure. So if you want to follow the business model that does seem to work for the reactionaries to become a brand, that is fine. It's your prerogative. But just know that you are basically a less successful brand who is still being drowned out by them, and all you did was ape the right wing to do it. Me? I'd rather be the leftist in social media, staying true to the culture of activism that shaped me in the first place. That means supporting others, encouraging my subscribers who don't make content to make content, and try to do better watching the content of the people who do support me. And you all know the offer is always open to my subs and enemies alike to come and do a hangout with me. I want a YouTube community, not a YouTube career. And no, I'm not putting down people who ask for donations or monetize their channels. That's not what I'm about, and that's not what this ramble's about. Okay, this is the Garage Autonomist.